Hi guys, welcome to Fun Learning, and today we are going to learn about the movements of knee joint. With this video, I'm going to complete the entire knee joint. Okay, now let us study about the movement of knee joint. We have just dividing this video into two. That is, first we'll discuss about the four important movements: flexion, extension, medial rotation, and the lateral rotation, and the muscle which helpful in performing those particular movements. And next, we are going to discuss about the locking and the unlocking movement of knee, which is quite important and that can also be asked separately as 5 marks. Now, let us discuss about the first four movements I have mentioned: flexion, extension, medial rotation, and lateral rotation. First, flexion of knee. First, I'll say the important muscle, the prime mover, the chief muscle which helps in the flexion of knee. And next, I'll say those muscles which will be to act as a secondary muscle, assisted muscle also we can able to say. So first, the prime muscle of flexion is nothing but the hamstring muscle. And this flexion, it is assisted by we have popliteus muscle. Yes, in order to remember these muscles, you would have studied about the muscles of lower limb. If you know about it, you can easily write all these things by your own. Okay, so now the main muscle I said, that is hamstring muscle, and this flexion is assisted by, you remember the mnemonic GSP. Okay, so popliteus muscle, gracilis, gastrocnemius, plantaris, and sartorius muscle. Remember the mnemonic GSP. We have know about GST, right? Just instead of T, write P. That's all. GSP. Okay, so next we are going to read about the extension and the muscle that helpful in extension. So yes, now let us study about the extension and the medial rotation and the muscle helpful in that. So extension, it is quadriceps femoris muscle. Okay, and we have quadriceps. 4 muscles are included here: rectus femoris, vastus medius, vastus lateralis's, and vastus intermedius. Okay, 4 muscles are together. We call it as quadriceps femoris muscle. And medial rotation, here also you should remember the same mnemonic GSP, which is G stands for gracilis muscle, S stands for semimembranous, semitendinous, and sartorius muscle, and P stands for the popliteus muscle. Okay, this movement, it is chiefly done by 3 muscles, these 3 muscles. And these 2 muscles are assisting this movement to take place, are helping this muscle to perform this particular kind of movement. Lateral rotation is very important and very easy, that nothing but biceps femoris muscle helpful in lateral rotation. The prime mover also we can able to say. Lateral rotation, biceps femoris muscle. This can also be correlated with the relations of knee joint, which we have studied in the previous video. The one which is present medially helpful in medial rotation, the one which is present laterally is helpful in lateral rotation. Okay, now let us study about the very important movement, nothing but the locking and the unlocking movement of knee. Yes, now let us study about the locking and the unlocking movement of knee. In both locking and unlocking, you should remember only 3 points. Okay, and this locking, you have to remember 1 point, that is, the locking of knee is also known as screw home movement. Why I am mentioning here is, in some question paper, instead of asking the locking of knee, they are asking discuss about the screw home movement. You should not get confused. Remember that locking of knee is also known as screw home movement. Okay, this 1 point, additional point that you should know about the locking of knee. In addition to it, you should remember the 3 important points of locking of knee. Yes. First, consider this as your leg. Okay, this is your foot and this is your leg. Okay, and consider this as a femur. Okay, why I'm explaining is I'm going to explain the locking of knee. So, first, during the last stage of extension, that is, this is my last stage of extension. When I extend further, you know, flexion is like this, extension is like this. When I extend further, my foot will not be on the ground. My foot will be off the ground. Right. So, during the last stage of extension, so this is my last stage of extension. Consider this as a femur. What will happen is, my femur will medially rotate on the tibia. So during the last stage of extension, the medial rotation of femur, so medially rotating, just consider this like medial rotation of femur on tibia will lock the knee, and this is known as locking of knee. So during the last stage of extension, that is foot is on the ground, the femur will medially rotate on the condyles of tibia, and this movement will lock the knee, and hence it is known as locking of knee. And the muscle responsible for locking of knee, we have studied previously that the muscle helpful in extension is nothing but a quadriceps femoris muscle. So the muscle responsible for the locking of knee is also the same muscle, that is quadriceps femoris muscle. I guess you remember. Just remember, I guess you have no doubt. Just remember, this is your foot. This is your last stage of extension. And if you extend far further, your foot will be off the ground. And this is the last stage of extension where your foot will be on the ground. And consider this as a femur. What will happen during the last stage of extension, your femur will medially rotate on tibia. This rotation will lock the knee. Hence, it is known as locking of knee, and the muscle responsible for this is quadriceps femoris muscle. Okay, now let us study about the unlocking of knee. I hope you remember the locking of knee. It's quite easy. Just try to understand. So, in unlocking of knee, beginning of flexion of locked knee joint, lateral rotation of femur on tibia when the foot is on the ground. There you study about the last stage of extension, and here beginning of flexion of locked knee joint. There medial rotation of femur on tibia locks the knee, whereas the lateral rotation of femur on tibia will unlock your knee. That's all. Only 2 points you should remember. There I study about the last stage of extension, and here you should remember beginning of flexion. There you should remember medial rotation of femur on tibia, and here you should remember lateral rotation of femur on tibia. And third point, there I said the muscle responsible for locking of knee is quadriceps femoris muscle, whereas the muscle responsible for unlocking of knee is one is popliteus muscle. Okay, the other three muscle is semimembranous, semitendinous, and gracilis muscle. So, semimembranous, gracilis, and semitendinous. Okay, I hope you understand the unlocking of knee and unlocking of knee. Now, with this video, we'll wrap up the knee joint. The next video, let us discuss what we'll want to discuss later. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, subscribe to my channel. Bye. Take care.